Hello my Wolfpack and welcome to a brand new video where today we are going to be talking about the week 7 of the Phantom Little Cup League. Now I am aware this is coming out before the week 6 and that's because I haven't done my week 6 match yet. I can't talk. Yeah, we haven't done that one yet, so we're doing week 7 this week and then week 6 will come at some point once I've got that battle done. So yeah, today, well not today, this week we are battling Fancy Charmander, and this is actually quite a scary team. Honestly, Diglett can arena trap me. It's very fast, so it can probably take out basically anything. Fly can be quite terrifying, especially with Scraggy, because it's 4 times weak to it. Drifloon, if it can get an Unburden boost, I think it potentially just sweeps me with Acrobatics, except for like Porygon. Meowth, yeah, Meowth is probably less scary. Bumblebee and Minccino, less scary as well, but Timber could actually put a lot of pressure on my team. Gothita, not too terrifying, but Bronzor could be terrifying, so I don't really have too much other than Trapinch to deal with it. And then Cottony. Cottony I'm not too concerned about. I'm not really sure what Cottony can do, per se. But, yes, so I'll go back to the first Pokemon on this list. Essentially, so the team I've gone for this week, I've gone for Rufflet, Staryu, Porygon, Phantump, Trapinch, and Scraggy. It was actually quite difficult to build this team and make it look relatively good. Honestly, Rufflet can actually tear through this team quite nicely. It takes up the Diglett. Well, no, it can deal a lot of damage to Diglett, and the Diglett can't do too much to it, especially if it's like banded into Earthquake or something. QTFly, we can just take out with a Brave Bird full stop. Drifloon is a little bit concerning, but I've got the Shadow Claw there just in case. Alola Meowth, I've got the close combat there, and also a Brave Bird would be able to hit it quite hard. Bunnelby, again close combat, same with Minccino. Timber, a Brave Bird will take it out. Gothita, I think, is a couple of Brave Birds. It might be a roll on a 2-hit KO, I'm not 100% sure, but I know it's definitely not a 1-hit KO. Bronzor, Shadow Claw, I think I'll go for there, and same with the Gothita, I could go Shadow Claw, and I think about or even the U-turn in that scenario. And then I've got Cottony, which again, Brave Bird deals with. So a Rufflet can actually put in a lot of work against this team. There's not really too much, unless, as I said, Unburden Drifloon could actually really mess with us, especially if it can get an attack boost for somehow. I don't actually know if it can get an attack boost, but if it can, then that could definitely end up making a huge difference. So yeah, that's my initial thought on Rufflet. Rufflet, I originally wasn't going to put the Choice Scarf on this. I was originally going to go for a Tailwind set and double the speed of my team, but I've decided to go for this. And then we've got a Choice Scarf allowing for us to increase up our speed. This just allows us to outspeed as much as possible. Yeah, I'm not sure what outspeeds me off the top of my head. I made this team quite a while ago, so yeah, I can't really remember hugely, but that is my thoughts for Rufflet. Honestly, going to put in a lot of work, hopefully. EVs, I'll let you just look at the EVs. Essentially, it's a fast attacker. Typically, they're going to be fast attackers. They're going to be... I don't think I've actually got anything that's defensive. I'm not designing things to be specifically defensive on these sets, except for normally Spritzee is a bit more defensive. But they're either going to be very bulky or very fast. That's the one of two ways it's going to happen. Alright, moving on to our second Pokemon, we have Staryu. Now Staryu can actually put in a bit of work here as well. Life Orb, I did consider Choice Scarfing this here just in case of the Drifloon with the Unburden boost. Now I can get an Ice Beam off. Excuse me. I believe that Ice Beam just straight up takes it out, so yeah, we can put in a lot of work there. Diglett, I think I think Diglett has a base 20 speed. So I've got some popcorn stuck in my teeth. Like, and it's just, as I'm talking, it's separating out. So I know you didn't need to know that, but that is what is happening. Diglett, I think, is base 20 speed, so I think it can outspeed us. I'm not sure if it can take us out in one hit, though, but we have the Surf there in case it might not be a Jolly Nature. It might be Adamant to try and have that more attack, to which we would then be on par with speeds. QTFly, we can do a lot of damage to it using Surf. Alola Meowth, we've got, again, Surf will happen. Oh no, Dazzling Gleam will happen with Alola Meowth. Drifloon, Ice Beam. Bunnelby and Minccino will be Surf. Same with Timber. Gothita, I think, again, is Surf. No, Timber is Dazzling Gleam, sorry. Bronzor is Surf again, and Cottonee is Ice Beam. Cottonee can actually be a big problem for us, if I'm honest. In fact, a lot of these Pokemon could be a bit problematic. I think there are a couple of Pokemon on this team that do get the same speed as me, so they do get base 19 and will have 19 speed, but I'm not 100% sure which ones they are off the top of my head. I think Minchino does. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that was one that I looked at. But yeah, Staryu, I put the Life Orb on here just to give us a little bit more damage. As I said, I considered Choice Scarf, but then I kind of decided against it because Staryu, while Surf does do something to basically all of his team, I really need that option for the Ice Beam on that Drifloon if it comes in on me, and also the Ice Beam for the Cottonee in case that comes. So that was why I didn't go for this Choice Scarf. And I went for a new move this week. I haven't used this before, and I went for Teleport. So teleporting out could actually be pretty crucial. It could be pretty crucial in some scenarios, especially if I need to kind of get it out at some point to get it back in later on. Maybe I've had a special attack lowered or something, for example, or maybe I've had my speed lowered, so that could be a problem. Obviously, a fast Pokemon, this is how my Staryu also always run. Porygon, I think, is actually one of my win cons in this week's match. Honestly, Porygon can actually put in some work here. I've put the Eviolite and I've put Agility on this again. Agility allows for us to be get 24 speed, outspeeding anything that isn't necessarily scarfed, and even if some things are scarfed, I can still outspeed them. So honestly, hopefully that will go pretty well for me. We've got Agility, as I said, to double the speed. Shadow Ball, now that hits things like the Drifloon for a lot of damage. It hits the Gothita, it hits the Bronzor for a lot of damage. So I can do a lot there. I've got Psychic. That Psychic is mostly there for the Timber. Now that Timber can obviously be a huge problem for us. And then I've got Tri-Attack for the rest of the Mons that I don't need the Psychic or Shadow Ball for. So yeah, hopefully if I can get the correct download boost. I haven't actually checked what Pokemon have higher defense and higher special defense, so that's something that I probably should do, or should have done prior to the match, because I didn't do it. I'm gonna tell you, I've already done the match. I didn't check it, so it could be a downfall. It could also go well. So you know, we've got Porygon, Agility set here. Hopefully, if I get the download boost, we've got the Eviolite. Eviolite allows us to live at least. But I think it takes 3 hits for the Drifloon to kill us with Unburden Acrobatics. So that was kind of my thinking there on having the Eviolite here. And if I need to set up the Agility early on in the game, I can. If I don't want to set it up, I don't have to, obviously. So, you know, that's how it works with that one. Moving on to Phantump. Now, Phantump, it was the last Pokemon I decided to put on this team. Honestly, it does put in some work in some respects, but it also doesn't put in a huge amount of work at the same time. So against the Diglett, it just completely destroys it with Horn Leech. If I can get that a Reintrap scenario, then we're going to be pretty good. We've got Cutiefly, which could be a problem. Obviously, Bug-type attacks are neutral. Fairy-type attacks are neutral as well, so we can just see what happens there. But I've got Poltergeist there just in case. Drifloon is concerning. I'm not going to lie, Drifloon is a little bit concerning. I've got Poltergeist there in case, for example, something happens and that Drifloon has lower speed than me, which is very, very unlikely, or I manage to live an attack. So, for example, Alola Meowth, again, is a scary Pokemon. Not sure I can deal with it too well. I mean, I have got the Horn Leech and I have got the Power Up Punch on there as well, so I potentially can do something with it. Bunnelby is why I've got the Power Up Punch on there partly as well, and that just allows me to raise up my attack, and if I take some damage I can get the Horn Leech off. Same with Minchino, and also with the Timber and as well as the normal types, I can then switch in on them if he's just going for a generic stab attack to get damage off. So Phantump is a really good switch in for a couple of these scenarios, which is why I kind of used it. And then we've got Gothita and Bronzor, which again, Phantump deals really well with the Poltergeist. And then finally Cottonee. Cottonee, I think, in a one-on-one scenario, Phantump definitely does have that match. And I've gone for the Harvest Oranberry here. Excuse me. Just because that is basically how you run a Phantump. Honestly, you could run... Oh, I've got something in my throat. You could run, I think it gets Frisk. You could run Frisk potentially, but I'm not a huge fan of running Frisk personally. That's just my opinion. I don't personally see the need for it, but you can run it if you want. EVs, we've gone for a fairly bulky one with a really high attack stat. That was just the idea there. Now moving on to, oh, I've gone onto the completely wrong tab here. We're moving on to Trapinch. Trapinch is potentially going to put in some work this week. Potentially going to put in some work. So we've got Diglett versus Trapinch one-on-one. I honestly think that Trapinch should be able to take it out unless the Diglett is sashed, which I could definitely see it being sashed. QtheFly, we can kind of just deal with Earthquake or actually Crunch, I think, is the move I need to get for QtheFly. Drifloon, I think gets taken out from a Crunch. Alola Meowth, I can use First Impression. Obviously, having that Expert Belt increases up the attack power of that. If not, I can always use Superpower. Bunnelby, I have got Superpower on there, but also Earthquake will do a lot to it. Same with Minccino. Timber, again, I think is Earthquake. Gothita and Bronzor are my crunchers. I'll crunch them. And then Cottony is First Impression as well. So, obviously, if the Cottony comes in on me and I'm already in, so that could be a problem. But I would then likely switch out, assuming that Trapinch wasn't my last Pokemon. So, we've got a few things that this can do. We've got a high attack with kind of some defense investment as well. Obviously, no point in investing in speed on Trapinch because it won't outspeed anything. Arena trapping, because honestly, trapping Pokemon in can be absolutely huge. I found that it's actually worked several times in my favour. Not always, because there have been a couple of scenarios where I've switched it in and then got taken out because a Pokemon has a move that I didn't expect it to have, but, you know, that's all part of the game. That's all part of the game. You can run so many different mons with so many different things, like, it is fine. It's fine, typically. And finally, we've got Scraggy. Now, Scraggy, again, potentially one of my win cons. Having a Dragon Dance. If I get a Dragon Dance and a Moxie boost, I don't think anything survives unless it's, like, Scarfed. If there's a Scarf QtheFly, I think it just flat takes us out. Scarf QtheFly will just flat take us out. Timber, I don't think it has speeds us if it's Scarfed, especially if I've got Dragon Dance up. So, Timber I'm not as worried about, but I do kind of need at least one boost to be able to take out the Timber. Diglett is, I think, again, I need one boost to take it out. QtheFly is the only reason I've got the Iron Head on this week. I would have gone for Zen Headbutt instead, but honestly, the QtheFly is a little bit more of a scary mon than the Timber, especially if the Timber decides to go for something like Power Up Punch, or if it predicts that there's going to be a switch and goes for something like Knockoff, then that's relatively okay. But I went for Crunch this week instead of Knockoff. I thought Crunch actually does a little bit more damage to Drifloon, and if it doesn't take out the Drifloon, then, well, no, it doesn't do more damage. If it doesn't take out the Drifloon, it doesn't activate that Unburden, and I really do not want to activate that Unburden. Sorry, yeah, I really don't want to activate that Unburden on like Drifloon, because at that point it will then just sweep my team. So if I can get a Crunch on the Drifloon, then that is going to be something that's going to be relatively good. Alola Meowth, just a Drain Punch will take that out. Same with the Bunnelby, same with the Minccino. Timber, as I said, is a little bit scary, but it should be fine. Gothita and Bronzor, I've got the Crunch there also. And then Cottony, I think a Drain Punch will just take it out. Honestly, if I can get this thing set up, one or maybe two Dragon Dancers, or a Dragon Dance and a Moxie, I think it can just sweep basically anything on the team, unless, like, as I said, Scarf QtheFly is something that's very, very scary. It could definitely be something that happens, because I have run Scraggy with Dragon Dance for quite a bit, and I think a Scarf QtheFly with, I'm not sure if it gets Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam, but it gets one, I'm not sure it gets one of the two, and that could actually just put in a lot of work against my team. I haven't really got anything that resists Fairy types, so if he's got increased speed or increased attack, a special attack, I'm not sure if it gets Quiver Dance. It might do, but yeah, like QtheFly is actually a threat. QtheFly, I would say, is the biggest threat on this team. For my team personally, or Timber. Timbers are quite scary, but same with Drifloon. Actually, Drifloon and QtheFly together are very, very scary Pokemon. This is where I really wish that I did have a Fire type, because a Fire type would come in so handy right now, but by the time I wanted to get a Fire type, after I got the other mons that I wanted, I just couldn't get it, essentially. I just, there was none really left that were really viable for me to use with my team weaknesses already. But yes, overall, I think that we've got a pretty good matchup. I think it does depend on that Drifloon, and if it's Flare Boost, then I think we, again, will suffer quite a bit. That Drifloon is scary, the QtheFly is scary. I'm predicting both of them to come. I think the Diglett will come as well. Possibly Bunnelby or Mangino. I don't see both of those coming. Timber, I think, will definitely come because he can put in some work against my team. Gothita, Bronzong. I think Bronzong would probably come over Gothita just because I haven't really got too much to deal with. But at the same time, I've got Trapinch and Scraggy, so maybe neither of those come. And I honestly cannot see the Costney coming. Personally, I don't even know Costney's level up set, but I know Lilligant doesn't get very good moves. I know it gets literally a bug type move and a grass type move on the special side, and that's it. So it would just be a support Pokemon. And I think, unless it kind of had like Tailwind or something, which I'm not sure if it does, but unless it had something like that, then we're going to be pretty good, and I couldn't see it coming. But that is all for today. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please do watch the battle that will be out tomorrow. If you're watching this when it's been up for more than a day, then the battle is out. There will be a card somewhere in this video, and I'm sure it will be in the outro as well, or in the comment section below. So, not the comment section, maybe the comment section. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to post it, but it will be posted somewhere. So, yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you had a good one, and I will see you soon.